Do we know what level of grade inflation we might be looking at as regards GCSEs, Minister?
Well, those results will be revealed after 9:30 today. Indications
What can
so
you
far.
tell us?
No, well, at 9:30, that's when those results will come out. There will be grade inflation, of course, into the system.
How nervous? Because in the past you've been very robust against grade inflation. How nervous are you that we've seen it with A-levels, we're going to see it with GCSEs? How worried are you about that?
Yes, we will see it. It is a consequence of moving to this system, but it was the right decision.
Well, hang on,
Mr.
Gibb. When we discussed this last week, you said it wasn't the right decision because it would debase this year's A-levels, and anybody who says I got my A-levels in 2020, but employers will just fall about laughing. Now you're saying it is the right decision.
It's the right decision given what happened with the application of the model.
Do you change your opinion as often as you change your socks, Minister?
I change my opinions when the facts change. What do you do, Nick?
I don't. If I presided over this shambles, Nick, I'd quit. I wouldn't have the balls to stay in post because I'd let too many people down. I don't know how. Have you offered to quit?
Look, I gave it a lot of thought. I'm a human being.
Of course.
When I saw some of those young people who had worked solidly for 2 years, expecting A's and B's, going to pick up their grades and finding 3 Ds and losing their place at veterinary college, of course it's heartbreaking. And I can only imagine how I would have felt all those years ago when I collected my A-level grades. Of course I thought about these issues.
Did you offer
over the weekend
your resignation?
But it would have been the wrong thing to do, because there will be inquiries by the Select Committee, by the Statistics Authority into these issues, and my focus has to be on making sure we put these issues right, that young people get the grades that are fair, and that they can move on to the next stage of their careers, and we get schools ready for opening in September, getting young people back into education, back in with their friends and their teachers. Now,
when we spoke last time, you declined to give a grade for how the government, you sort of indicated maybe an A-. I don't know if you've had sight of a poll by the Daily Mirror today. 18% back your boss, Gavin Williamson, 18% in a Mirror poll, and it is a fiasco. Do you accept, if you and Mr. Williamson were the manager and coach of a football team, you'd have been relegated and both sacked, wouldn't you?
These are difficult decisions we've had to take all along. It's not ideal to award grades without taking the exams, but that is a decision we had to take. And when problems emerged, as they did last week, we swiftly took action, discussing these issues with the independent regulator, with Offqual, who then made the decision to move away from the standardised model and to move towards teacher-assessed grades. And of course that decision itself then has implications for other issues, and we tackle each of those issues as they arise. This isn't ideal, but it's where we are in the midst of this appalling pandemic.
Yes, certainly not ideal. Lastly, on the subject of Offqual, you have confidence in Sally Collier, do you?
We have confidence in Offqual, in the leadership of Offqual.
In Sally Collier, you have confidence in Sally Collier?
Well, in the leadership, yes, in the leadership of Offqual. We're working with this institution. It's an important institution.
What would it take for you to lose confidence in Offqual?
Well, all these issues will be
I can't think what it would take. I really can't think what it would take.
We need to, because we need to...
Unless they were found to be funded by the Kremlin.
Let me finish, Nick, let me finish.
Go ahead.
I know we're getting near the clock.
Yeah, we are, you see, good training.
There will be time to look at these issues in great detail, to see what happened where and when. They're looking at the algorithm and so on. That's the time to make those kind of judgments. Now we've got to put this issue right for young people.
And lastly, of course, it doesn't end there for you and your colleagues, because in a few weeks' time, I guess about 2 weeks' time, we'll be looking to our young people, those who have not been attending school during the pandemic. We want every possible pupil behind every possible desk with every possible teacher in situ. How confident are you, Minister, that that will be the case in September?
I am confident. As we went up to the summer holidays, we had 1.6 million pupils in school already. When we partially reopened reception year 1 and year 6, schools are preparing. They're making their schools safe with one-way systems, staggered breaks, the bubbles, keeping children in their class bubbles in primary schools, in year group bubbles in the secondary school, minimising unnecessary contact between pupils so that pupils and teachers are safe. And I think young people do need to be back in education for their well-being and so they can catch up on any lost education they've suffered as a consequence of the lockdown.
And how have your conversations been with Boris Johnson?
Very good. I've spoken to him twice this week.
What, he's supportive of what's happening?
He wants to make sure that these issues are addressed.
If I'd done this for my boss, former boss Rupert Murdoch. Let me tell you something. I would not characterise my conversations with Mr. Murdoch's quotes being very good, I assure you. So Boris Johnson just accepts it, does he? Oh, well, never mind, Nick. Give it your best.
On the contrary. On the contrary, he wants his issues sorted out, and he wants them sorted out swiftly. We want to make sure that every young person is awarded a fair grade that reflects their ability and their application, and that is what we are working night and day to deliver. We will do everything possible to make sure that young people are awarded the right grades, the fair grades, this year. And it's not an easy task, given the challenges we face with young people not being able to take those exams, but we will do everything, absolutely everything, to make sure that fairness is achieved in delivering grades in BTECs, in GCSEs, in A-levels, in Cambridge Nationals, in Cambridge Technicals. That is our objective, and we will deliver that.